when I first started working on OMD, I don't necessarily know that we had considered the implications that OMD could have on communication for the purposes of revenue cycle and kind of everything that falls into the bucket of revenue generating activity for practices. But I do know that in the early days of OMD, we did work on some projects together where we were testing the idea of communication over, at the time it was an app, to get patients the information that they needed to pay their bills. How hard is it today? Like, that was many years ago. How hard is it today to communicate with patients for practices kind of for any purpose? And also, kind of second part of that question is like, what happens if you can't get your patient on the phone? What are the revenue implications of that? Or, you know, if you can't communicate with them about their bill, or you can't get in touch with them about, you know, anything really in this process, what does that mean for kind of top line revenue for a group?
Right. Well, you know, sort of in any business, time is money. And the amount of time that we were spending, or a practice would be spending in patient collections, was exorbitant. You know, if you can imagine just trying to get a hold of a single patient, you're taking the time to make the phone call, they see it's a medical billing company, or they see it's a medical practice, we're going to let it go to voicemail. Maybe their voicemail's full, maybe they will or won't check that voicemail. So the opportunity there is small to reach the patient in that regard. And then again, the cost benefit of having something like a platform such as OhMD to be able to text message and communicate with the patient through texting was phenomenal. It was a real game changer for us, to be honest. We eliminated the staff that we needed to be calling patient by patient. And you're right, for a one doc practice, I mean, you could have 100 patient balances in any given month, but for a 5 or 6 doc practice, that grows exponentially. So you're now looking at trying to reach, you know, a vast number of patients with staff that is nearly impossible. Sending out a text blast to all of your patients in one fell swoop with their accurate patient balance, the ability to click a link simply online and go directly into the patient, into the physician's account, was, like I said, a real game changer for us and for the client. So it saves time, it saves money. It's a huge benefit for the patient as well. They also don't have time, you know, and they also don't necessarily take the time to read a paper statement that comes in the mail, or even an electronic statement that's sent to them. So for us, anyway and anywhere we can automate, it's a time saver, it's efficient, but most importantly, it impacts the bottom line greatly.